Turns out the murderer took that piece of fabric and concealed it inside the head of the costume. Then he fled the crime scene to hide all the parts in different areas of the swamp.
Ah, well, that's my problem. If Remington fired his rifle, how did the assailant survive and manage to escape? Did Remington miss his target?
At point blank? A man of his experience? I don't think so. In fact, the answer to that question is the very last link in our chain. The one thing that has eluded me so far. I'll drag the clue items from the left onto my drawing here, and we'll see what happens when we compare the pieces I collected with the original design I found.
Wait, you never found the body piece, the torso.
You're right, and I never would have found it. Not lying around. Not like the others.
But what does this have to do with the murderer surviving the rifle shot?
This torso is probably made up of some thick material, something covering the culprit's entire upper body. I believe it may have even been enough to
soften the impact from a bullet. Aha!
Exactly.
Well, let's put your theory to the test. Where is that last piece of the costume? Where is that last piece of the costume? But how? We looked everywhere. Not a single clue.
Simple. He's still wearing it.
I don't know what you want with me. Sounds like you two were smart enough to uncover the real criminal in this swamp, and lucky enough to have somebody else deal with him for you. You worked it out. He had his rifle on him. He got half a glance at me and pulled the trigger without hesitation.
But why would he do that? You were dressed as Buggy. He shouldn't be pointing his gun at a unique scientific specimen, not to mention his main attraction.
You're right. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, does it? Not unless you're in on the secret. Echo forgot to tell me that Richard Remington was here to hunt Boggy. I don't get it. Seriously. Our police file leads me to believe Echo was Boggy in disguise. What is that? The fireplace poker leads me to believe Echo was Boggy in disguise. Oh, that's a secret that Remington kept hidden in his office. The hunting photo leads me to believe Richard Remington was here to hunt Boggy. A secret society, an order of hunters, seeking out mysterious and elusive creatures.
The order goes further than this one man, and much further than this one swamp.
The whole thing is kind of distressing. I knew something was wrong as soon as I stepped into that office.
I'm glad you've finally come around. It's not just
But what about Remington? He was a member of this This order?
He made Boggy his own personal project, his own obsession. For years he hunted the creature, the potential perfect addition to his collection.
But he owned the tourist attraction. He set it up himself, didn't he?
He did. It was just his way of forming a legal loophole. Since the area became protected, he and his friends were unable to come here for hunting anymore. Boggy's Bog was just a front for his own little game. A man pursuing a creature.
A creature that might not even exist.
And that's why Remington kept a rifle nearby at all times?
Well, exactly. He didn't want to take any chances.
Now, don't you see? I did this place a service. Did Boggy a service. That creature, he can live in peace again.
Can he? You tried to frame him for murder. You wanted everyone to think he was some kind of ruthless predator?
Well, think about it. Once he became suspected of murder, they'd have no choice but to shut this whole place down. Everyone would finally realize they had no business here.
How can you know what Boggy wanted? He might not be what you're...
Detective.
You. It's
finished. Oh, don't be angry. You should be glad. It's finally time to leave the swamp. You have another job to do.
I don't know.
Not that it makes any difference to somebody like you, but I never intended to kill him. Just to scare him. Convince him Boggy wasn't going to let him live here in peace any longer. But, true to form, he had his rifle on him. You worked out the rest yourself.
You're right. It doesn't make any difference.
Well, Mr. Everstone, I'm afraid you'll still have to come with us. Fortunately, there's a police station just a few miles down.
Hey, wait! Aha!
Looks like you solved more than one mystery tonight.
Grimoire.
Well, what did they decide to do?
We had Mr. Everstone questioned. He was happy to tell us everything he knew. A number of rumors going around the department have been confirmed.
And Remington's office?
Searched down to the last detail. And well, we agree with you, but I know what you're thinking. I'd love to put an end to it, just the same as you. But there's always...
Are we going after them?
We'd better be.